Hello, hello, hello. Had a little technical difficulties with the live stream there. So, but we made it. We already started our New York Open. Only 9:32. How's everyone? I hope all is well. That everyone had a good 4th of July weekend. So let's see what we have here. So it looks like we had a nice little manipulation leg down for a sweep of those London lows. Nice liquidity. So now what I'm looking for is a tap into a higher time frame level. And let's see if we can hold up. So if we can get up past these highs here and hold, I'd be looking for higher prices. However, if we reject from these highs here off this higher time frame level here, is the level I'm looking at here. If we hold under here, I'd be looking for lower, maybe targeting a New York Open, or even Asia lows. So let's see what we got in mind here. We have a 5-minute fair value gap here. We'll see what this 5-minute candle holds for us. If we body above it, that's definitely a bullish sign there. However, we could just wick above it, come down, retest this higher time frame level here, and make our way down to some of these lower level objectives. So we'll see. So it looks like we got a nice strong tag above. We did close above with an immediate rejection downward. So let's see. Yeah. So it looks like that inversion took an immediate rebalance off of that. So let's see. ES. ES definitely is the stronger of the two. So we have a sweep of the London lows and highs here on ES. We left Asia high open. We've inverted above this 5-minute fair value gap on ES. ES is definitely stronger of the two. I'm going to go to the 1 minute. Let's see how we're looking. I'm gonna see New day opening gap here. And so we inverted on this 5-minute fair value gap. Slightly bullish. It wasn't that big of a body that closed, but we did close above. But it was immediate rebalance. So I'm just going to go ahead and play that out there. But we do have these equal highs up here, these relative equal highs. So we've come back down. We've tapped into this higher time frame, level here. Came into the new week opening gap. So I like to keep both charts open. Generally, if I'm looking for it, since NQ is weaker of the two, if we wind up taking shorts, I'd probably take it on NQ here. On longs, probably end up taking it here on ES. So let's see. We've had a pretty intermediate liquidity sweep with these London lows. Of course, the Asia high, Asia low would be the bigger liquidity sweep. That'd be ideal. Look at this big rejection off of here, off this higher time frame. Okay, we got a rejection off of here. We got a liquidity sweep down. Swept these relative equal highs here. Let these rejected off this higher time frame level here. Shorts would be an option here on NQ. Shorts could be an option. Shorts off of NQ. It's still a little too early for me. See what we're looking at off this wick here. So when we're looking at the wicks, I look at wicks as fair value gaps. So we're holding below this wick, which is overlapped on a higher time frame level here. So let's see what this candle does on the 5-minute. We have an inside candle here. And that wick is still strong on the 5-minute as well, so that's an important wick. That looks like an important wick to me. So let's see. Let's see how this wick holds up. Let's see. It looks like we're getting some rejection off of there. So if we do, I take it down. If I end up jabbing these shorts, I'd end up taking it down to this next level at 29,808. And I'd like to have got in up there. Let's see if we could retap into this wick here. I'm just looking for a good entry. I like shorts. Looking for a good entry. We get a nice retracement into halfway up this wick here. Mean threshold this wick. Nice rejection. Rejection there. I'll keep my size looking good here. Down to these lows here, 808. It's still a little rangy for me. We are respecting this wick here. I actually like this one here. So if we body above that, and shorts are no longer invalid for me at the moment. Well, let's not do that. Let's go here. This wick here. So we are still in a chop, still in accumulation. Doesn't mean we couldn't get a nice leg down, sweep these lows. We have been respecting this area here. Rejection here. Just cross constant encroachment of this wick. And there we go. That's why I was a little hesitant. A little hesitant there. So let's stick with this prior wick here to see where we are. This might be good for a nice re-entry. That's a super high, super long wick here on ES. On this 15-minute. We do have an inversion for a value gap here on the 15. It bodied above. We could be shooting for those Asia highs. We got these Asia highs here on ES. We are holding above this higher time frame level here. And there we go, going below. So there's a lot of manipulation here. I'm just not comfortable jumping into anything at the moment. So I'm going to look at where we are here. So we are in a premium of the range. So taking longs at this high would be a lower probability trade. So ideally I'm looking for shorts from here. However, it's a slow crawl up. Looks like we're holding below this higher time frame level here. So there we go. We do have 10 a.m. news. So we could get some nice manipulation leg. We do have this trend line liquidity that's been taken. They've been just eating it up all the way up. Shorts are looking good. Ideally, in a perfect world, I'd love for a price to sweep these highs. That would be a nice liquidity sweep here, because there's a lot of stop losses sitting up there. A lot of stop losses sitting up there from these shorts. A lot of these shorts have been coming down. They've been grabbing liquidity on down because they've been trailing their stop loss on down, and they've just been grabbing it, coming down, grabbing it, coming down. So these stop losses have been. So it looks like here, maybe this is one of the last areas where those stop losses have been trailed. But there's still a nice liquidity pool up here. People that haven't dragged those stop losses. Yeah, but we've had some interior liquidity swept. Those are those stop losses being dragged down. Later entries. Here we have a big pool of liquidity up here with these Asia highs. So I'd like to see that get swept and then come on down, targeting this New York Open, Asia lows, or this higher time frame level here. So a lot of engineered lows down here. Let's see. See my trader just freezing up on me. I went and got a Wi-Fi extender for my Wi-Fi. It seems like it's working pretty good. I've got some strong. Well, I got one bar up there that's missing. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it because I got my pretty face in the way, but on the little antenna icon for the Wi-Fi, instead of 3 bars, I have 2 bars, which isn't bad, isn't horrible. Again, I don't have the highest speed Wi-Fi available. Something maybe I should invest in as we get some more payouts. So if you missed last week, we passed our Lucid 50K eval. We have a fresh 50K funded here. That's a live funded Lucid funded F. I don't know what the last F stands for, but it's a Lucid funded account nevertheless. So that's what we're shooting. We have our 950 macro. So we just stopped just before that Asia high. That tells me that's a manipulated. So we may come back to tag that high. It looks like we're trying to trap. They're trying to trap some shorts. I need them to take that high. I need them to take that high. All right, so I'm looking for some inversion fair value gaps here. I'm trying to see if okay. So we have some IFVGs. These have been inverted. I'm looking for a fresh fair value gap here. We may have a 15 here. So on the 1 minute, we did have an inversion fair value gap here, but it kind of rebalanced us. Boom, came back into there. The wick still respected that inversion. We still respect with that wick, with not a body close. About 30 seconds left in this 1 minute candle. Being as though we opened above the consummate encroachment of that fair value gap, it still doesn't. That means that fair value gap doesn't hold too much weight. I mean, we have this gap here. I mean, this wick here, which I said earlier acts as a fair value gap. We rejected off of here, came down, didn't even get close to there. So we did respect this inversion with this wick, the body closed inside that wick. So shorts maybe, I would have loved for them to take that high there. That's the only thing that kind of worries me right now, is we still have that Asia high sitting there, and price is just acting like it wants to test that area. So let's see. And we're still holding above this higher time frame area, and this higher time frame PDR here. So if you look at my higher time frame levels, so we have I marked my levels out for my monthly. So I have monthly area here. These are the monthly areas. We're down in here with this candle here. These are all important levels here. Where we are now, we have this weekly area here. Well, we're currently in a weekly volume imbalance. That's where we are now. We have it. Price hasn't come up here, so we're in our weekly volume imbalance. So these are weekly levels here. With ES, we're rejecting off these monthly levels there. So these are higher time frame levels, which are far more relevant than our lower time frame. So basically that's where we are at the moment. So we are inside this weekly volume imbalance, with these highs lingering, this Asia high lingering. Now we're starting to draw down. All right, so we're drawing down lower here. We do have 10 o'clock news, so I'll just wait for that 10 a.m. news to come out. Although the shorts are looking quite attractive here. We have a nice big wick here on this 5 minute, which it hit consummate encroachment of that wick there. Rejected off. That's a nice bearish sign right there. I like it. This is our 1 minute inversion here. So it's coming down. It's coming down. I like this liquidity leg here. So I may jab in. Only thing holding me back is this 10 a.m. news. 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m. Okay, we have a new 1 minute candle here. We're above our MAs here. We're below our MAs. Now, if we get a cross here on these MAs, regardless, I would take that. That would be all the confirmations. We had to invert. We inverted this. We inverted this 1 minute. That means we have a bearish fair value gap here. This is the 5 minute wick here that we're coming off of. So we have the wick, a lot of downward momentum there. We have a couple seconds left for this 10 a.m. Let's see. I'm gonna jump in on that 10 a.m. Yeah. So I took a shot. I'd like to see those equal highs taken. I don't know if we'll be able to get in there. So I may hold it out. Let's hold it out. Let's see. I'm even trying to trap us in there. Just switch directions. So let's be patient. Yeah. So we've stopped our push lower. We're rejecting the push lower. Rejecting off that new week opening gap, holding above our higher time frame. But we are rejecting off our 1 minute fair value gap. This bearish fair value gap. But I will close this trade if we are getting a little too high here manually. I just don't want to give up too easily here. I like to see a push lower. So I may close this trade out. I'll wait for a sweep of the highs. If we can't get a push lower with some speed. And a nice expansion lower. We are respecting these areas here. So I'm trying to be patient with this trade, not to give in too easily and create a deficit for myself. However, I don't like the rejections that we're getting as we get into this area, but if we do break through this area, that's good. So I'd like to be open below this bearish candle here. I just need a push down. If we can get a push down, that would be great. Push down. Got a nice wick of this area here. It's gonna get rejected. As soon as I got my entry, it rejected off my entry. Yeah, you can't make that up, can you? So I may look to get into a better entry if I can't get some expansion lower here. Looks like the bears are fighting. It's not the best entry. If I was a little bit more confident that we weren't going to shoot those high, I would average in for a full position. Thinking back, ideally, maybe I would have jabbed in at a lower, instead of 5 micros, maybe jabbed in at 2, then built my position up to get a better entry here. Instead, we're just going to hold off with our 5 micros and see if price going down. Our P&L's looking better than it was. If I would have exited that trade at a negative 500, we would have pulled out. So we are still rejecting at this area. If I'm going to pull out and wait for a better entry, now would be the time. I just don't want price to jab up on me. So it looks like we're engineering these lows here to try to trap some longs. If that's the case, it looks like big money, smart money, trying to engineer these areas here for this liquidity pool here. We can get below this area here. I'd like to see price shoot below here. This isn't the cleanest short, but I still feel confident that we're looking for lower prices. We may be looking for another rally to the highs. That's the only thing that worries me if we don't close outside of this box here. We did get a bearish MA cross here. We are getting a nice rejection here, starting to pick up some momentum downward. Rejecting strong off these areas here. So they are manipulating this liquidity here. So if I can't get some expansion to the downside in this next candle here, hopefully we can get some expansion to the downside. I'm going to try and get a better position. I'm going to exit this trade, get a better position as opposed to taking any more drawdown. I don't like that. Minute. It's 15 minutes. Yeah. So let's wait and see if we sweep these highs and then go down. I'm just gonna have to sit in this drawdown because I don't want to give up. I don't want to give us in there. just gonna have to wait this out. Guys. So ideally, if we sweep these highs here, let me sweep these highs. Hopefully, not too far past these Asia highs, and that'll be enough to bring us down for some more downside. So if we do get some speed to the downside, it may be a good area to add in, so I get a little better position. But I'd have to be completely sure that we're not gonna take on any more drawdown. So I don't think my account can handle that. Or we'll just have to sit in, take it as it is. If we break down and stay below these areas, my entry is down here. If we pull down, but we stay below that 963 area, I'd feel comfortable adding in for a little better position. But I'd like to reject off that 963 area. Would even be more comfortable is below this 10 o'clock open, right at our higher time frame level. I'd be willing to add in to get more of a better position and more of a higher ROI. But what's keeping me from exiting this trade in the past, I've exited trades that I was on the right side of the trade, just maybe at the wrong time, and I get out the trade and basically give the market a couple $100, now down, then I get back in the same direction. So timing has been the issue. As we can see, I haven't had the best timing with that trade. But with NQ, it's so volatile, so I'm not going to let that P&L scare me. We just swept that Asia high, which, if ideally, that would have been the better confirmation for entry. So I don't want to see price go back above their idea too much. Back above that wick. Let's see how we react off that wick, off that Asia high wick. If we can push down lower. Now start creating some fair value gaps to the downside. That'd be a nice inversion area there. If we invert this fair value gap here, I'd be willing to add, get a better position. We don't want to see price go too much farther past these Asia highs. ES break above Asia? ES still hasn't broke above Asia high. That may be what's holding us back. Asia high there, close to it. Is the game. So I'm gonna hang in there tough. I'm in it now. So see if we can't get. Let's see if we can't get enough for a price to want to go down. We have pretty good bearish objectives here. We still have midnight open down there, London lows, Asia lows. I like to displace below this area here. But these candles are getting weaker and weaker as we get higher, which is a good sign. It's a good sign. So it's heavy manipulation here. So let's see if we can't pull out of this severe drawdown that we're in here. I still feel like we're on the right side of the trade. Otherwise, I would have closed and waited for an entry to the upside. But I honestly feel that price is going to dump here. If we get all the way down to these lows, is yet to be seen. Ideally, I'd love for that to happen. ES is engineering some highs here. So we may trap some shorts over here on ES and go back up and tag those highs and then pull back down, which would be good for everyone involved. I'd love to see NQ get some momentum downward first before ES decides to do that, holding us up, because that could still hold us up in the middle of the range, not necessarily pulling us all the way back, while ES pulls up and then comes down. So ES was the stronger of the two, although NQ has been moving a lot stronger than ES in the short term. That could be on purpose. Smart money is smart money for a reason. So NQ was looking really bullish while ES was lagging, while all the while creating these relative equal highs. So let's see if it's a play to trap these shorts with a sweep of the highs, then continue downward. So this is technically day 6 of my live stream. I know periodically people come in and see what's going on. I'm relatively new here on YouTube. This is mainly for documenting this journey here. Like I said, last week we passed our 50K lucid eval in the funded stage. This is most drawdown I've taken since I've had this account. That's just the way it's been. When I do get to the funded stage, I've learned in the past to not quit so early on my trades. I'm still learning. I would have, in retrospect, entered with not maybe a full 5 micros, maybe jabbed it with 2 micros, testing the waters. I did go 5 because I was pretty confident that we were going down in here. We had a lot of downward movement here. I seen it coming down. Wanted to get in up here, wound up getting in here. And unfortunately, at that point, that's exactly where price decided to hold up and push up on me. But like I said, I feel good that we're going to continue down. So we did sweep liquidity at the open. We hit those London lows. The only thing I could say is that we did not reject off of this higher time frame level, which I would have liked to see before continuing down after that sweep. So, but we did get a better sweep in liquidity here on the Asia highs. So now we're looking for a push downward. So now we're just looking for some speed to the downside. Ideally inverse this 1 minute fair value gap. In an ideal scenario, after this inversion, I'd like to add. I need to get a better position. Maybe even after this, after we close, if we can close below this body here, below this wick, we are getting a lot of bullish manipulation. Asia finally tagged over here on ES, so maybe that's enough to get some continuous downward movement on ES, which would help us out over here on NQ. So I would have liked to see some speed to the downside after ES swept those Asia highs. So it's just now 10:30. So if we could get some movement downward before that 1050 macro, that macro price, that macro time, and then see that move down. That would be an ideal scenario for this short that we're in. But I tell you, this is the patience I've been sitting in drawdown on a 50K account. After this trade, I'll definitely journal this trade and see what can be improved upon and what I did right. And just basically how to get better. I can tell you now, my emotions are definitely steady on this trade. I'm not as emotional as I've been in the past. I've only entered once. I haven't exited since I've entered. That's a plus. I would have probably exited and entered about 3 times in the past based on indecision. But it got to a point where I had an opportunity to say, am I going to exit this trade? I was only about $150 drawdown. When I was at the $400 or $500 drawdown mark, I didn't want to give the market that money without a fight. And then once we just got into the $700-800 drawdown, we were just in it. I feel confident that we are bearish, that we are going down. We still had some higher objectives to tag as far as liquidity, which was the Asia highs, which has been tagged on both NQ and ES. ES is trying to push up, NQ is falling down. So now we can see what was prior to this bullish movement, this little bullish movement where NQ was bullish and ES was the weaker of the two. So now we can see NQ wants to push down now. NQ has gone back to its traditional trend for the day as being the weaker of the two. ES was trying to push up, but it looks like now hopefully they're in alignment, because when they're in alignment, that's when you can see smoother price action. When one's fighting up and one's pulling down, you start to see a lot of choppiness. But if we can get these two aligned, where NQ is ideally the weaker of the two, but they're both falling down, that would be a very good short scenario. We are in premium pricing. That's why I still feel good with NQ, because we are still in premium. So we're in the premium price there. So I like these wicks here on the 5-minute. A lot of rejection as we approach this higher time frame level here. Ideally, if we can keep below this 50% mark, 30,000. So I'm looking for prices to go below 30,000 here. So it looks like it's starting to fall in our direction here. Yeah, so I'm going to be patient here. See if we can't get price to fall below these areas here, this 30,000 area here, and displace below. Maybe add for a DCA, get a better, slightly better position than we are here. And we may not. I see if price is able to shoot all the way down here. Although we do have the liquidity available for a price to aim for. We do have the bearish objectives. So I'm trying to be patient here. Obviously my timing wasn't the best, but it's going to come to some point. If I don't want to blow this account, I'm going to have to exit this trade. Yeah, so I may have to cut this trade and save some of mine, just to save this account. I don't want to blow this account on one trade. This is the most drawdown I've taken since I've had this account through the eval stage, all the way to fund it. I really don't want to close with this much drawdown, but I also don't want to sit here and watch my account just explode in front of me. As we continuously create bullish structure here. We are rejecting off of this higher time frame level. CS is hanging below this mid-range of this PDR. And then two, I exit the trade at my time, exit the trade only to see that this is the perfect entry. Yeah, that would suck. So I just need a break below here, a break below 30,000. It's hanging here just a little bit longer. We got a strong rejection here. So we're in a 15-minute bearish fair value gap here, along with a higher time frame level here. Stay below constant encroachment of this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, along with rejection off this higher time frame level. And some expansion downward. That may be the timing that we're looking for. So all this is engineered lows, low resistance liquidity. Looks like in here. So if we come down here, we are accumulating. Maybe for manipulation. Sweep these highs and get this low resistance liquidity all the way down here. All this is low resistance liquidity. I don't see why we can't hit full TP, even though it's not a good entry. May be able to scrounge out a 1-to-1 here. I got a feeling this day is going to end up good, though. This patience is going to pay off. We're going to get a good, clean short to the downside at this 1045, 1050 macro. And in this stream with a smile. That's what I envision. So at this point, what do we got to lose? So let's get a shift of structure. Let's get down here. We can get below 30,000. Let's get below 30,000. One thing I didn't do this morning was pull out my notes. So Mondays, I've been debating, should I trade on Mondays? Should I just not trade on Mondays? The upside to that, Mondays have typically been not my best trading days. Typically on Tuesday, you have a lot more information. The market's settled down. It's usually picked a direction. And you can get a lot smoother price action. I always get that weekend itch where I want to trade. Something I'm still working through. So I will look back Had some data to see if Mondays are a good day for me to trade. Um, I know just coming off the weekend, we got the family. Everyone's, getting acclimated to their schedules again for the week. The market seems like it's pretty much doing the same thing. I just feel like I'm more in line and in tune with the market after that first initial beginning trading day. If that turns out to be true, I'm just going to have to stick with the data and maybe not trade on Mondays. I know a lot of successful, profitable traders don't trade on Mondays. Some do, and I can see why. I can see why they wouldn't trade on a Monday. I can also see why some traders do trade on Mondays and Sundays. I used to trade on Sundays as well. Won't trade on Sundays. Won't do that. I used to do that as well. I feel like as I get more experience, gain more experience, my reasoning is a lot better. So I just know that Sunday is just not enough information there for me to take trades. Unless I'm taking momentum trades and short scalps to the upside, to the downside, based on, market open or whatever. I'm starting to move away from that style of switching to that. That's not my style of trading, I should say. So with my style of trading and looking for the setups that I look for, there's just not enough information there for me to take trades on a Sunday. So I won't take. I'll look at the market. I may take paper trades for practice, but I won't trade any of my accounts on Sunday. So next I have to look at Monday and see if that's a day that I should keep or just watch the market do its thing. But right now, as we speak, it's not. My timing isn't as good as it should be, as it would be, if the market had more time to settle and I had more time to get in tune with price action. So we're going to stick with this trade and see what happens. I'm going to stay patient. We're going to stay focused, looking for price to break below 30,000 for some expansion to the downside. I don't have a lot of room here to add to this trade with only $2,000 of drawdown with a 50K account. But I am confident that we will be moving down with lower prices. How much farther up we'll go is anyone's guess. I'd like to say that we've swept the liquidity that needs to be swept for lower prices, that we're just engineering some liquidity here just to take a little bit more before heading to the downside. So let's see. I think I may cut this trade and see if I can't get a better entry. I don't want to blow this account, hoping that price goes down. Tough call, guys, tough call. I just feel like I would stay in it. We'll get all that hard work will pay off, and staying in this trade and suffering in this drawdown. Let's see what we do with this fair value gap here. How price reacts. So we are approaching this 1050 macro. Ideally, I'd like to see price reverse. A strong displacement to the downside. We are trading into this bullish fair value gap. A nice inversion of this fair value gap would be step one, and then a break below 30,000 would be a nice continuation move to the downside. So let's see. Right now I'm just waiting. I'm knee deep into this trade. So if I could take anything away from this trade, I would cut my losses a lot earlier with a stop loss, knowing immediately if I'm not in the direction I want to be in, whether it's timing or I just on the wrong side. But in retrospect, taking away from this trade in real time, I'd like to have my stop loss in place instead of manually wanting to stop out. And I like to have it in a place where I know immediately if price hits this area, I don't want to be in this trade anymore. So I can tell you that's the one thing I'm going to take away from this trade before even looking at any journaling or anything. I don't want to be in a trade this long and drawdown this long on this size account. If this was a bigger account, if this was a personal account, maybe the drawdown wouldn't be so bad, because I know I'd be confident that we are going down. But with the amount of drawdown that's allowed on this account, it's just not a place I want to be in on my first trade. So definitely stop loss placement. That was a strong push to the upside there. So that was the 1050 macro. Was that a liquidity sweep? A stop hunt to the upside. Let's see. was a violent push to the upside. I'd like to see price. I'm not going to sit here and wait and watch price just creep up and blow this account. We need to see price fall down, especially at this 1050 macro. Need to see price fall down, especially at this 1050 macro. We are rejecting off this higher time frame, and we're staying below this 15-minute fair value gap, below constant encroachment of this 15-minute fair value gap, below constant encroachment of this 15-minute fair value gap. Let me exit this trade to see if I can't get a better position. At best case and the worst case scenario, I stay in this trade and we stay down, take less of the drawdown. I stay in this trade. I don't have that much drawdown to increase size and catch shorts down in here to break even. Or I could wait to see if we get back down to my entry. At worst case scenario, we break even. I like to see price body below this bullish fair value gap. We did body below consummate encroachment. So I've noticed as we break lower, my heart rate's starting to speed up. I don't know if that's excitement or anxiety. I am a good mixture of the two. But let's see. So we did get a slight body below that fair value gap. Nevertheless, it is with a continuation downward. Is that enough for me to average in? I don't think so. I think we're too far deep. We're too far in. Too far deep. Yeah, so if I even added in up here, my new average entry would only be here, which isn't enough for me. We're still taking on drawdown. We're still taking drawdown. I like to break down below here. Here's that fair value gap that we like to see inverted along with this one here. This is simply the wick area. I like price to break below that 30,000. This is a high resistance area. We break below this resistance, get into these fair value gaps, invert these fair value gaps. Then we're looking good. We're looking good. It looks like we're looking good. We're entering that sell model here with a smart money reversal, a low risk entry here. We can get some expansion down. Creates a bearish fair value gap. Just a nice expansion candle here. Yeah. But price is rebalancing this area, which is not a bad thing. I mean, rebalance has no need to go back up in there, and we can come back. We can keep on moving down. But that's why we're looking for a break below here and inversion of these fair value gaps. As we go down and price is rebalancing on the way down, we may not leave fair value gaps behind. But that really means that it has no reason for a price to go back to those areas. I just like to see price go down, finally just make its mind up. We are consolidating in this area. Yeah, so if I was to exit this trade here and re-enter in this area here, stop loss here with 5 micros, and say make it back down in here, I'd still be looking at a break even on the day. However, if I wanted to see a profit, I could come in here, re-enter here, stop loss here, maybe come in with 6 or 7 micros, and maybe even see a profit by the time I get here. So, which one would be the safer one? But if we take on more drawdown, it could risk with a higher, heavier risk, could risk blowing this account with less, just even a little bit of drawdown. So that's the position I'm in. Trying to think strategically here. I want to keep this account. I don't like that we're in this much drawdown. We do have a slight SMT there. Not really. We have been respecting this area here on the 15-minute. This 15-minute bearish fair value gap and this higher time frame. This higher time frame level here. So that's a good sign there. We are pushing down. So this is going down as if I did enter here. So it's looking like that would be some profit there. So we did break below here, which with a slight market structure shift here. For a bearish order block. So, but I like to see as price taps into there, we just reject. Break below this area here. And I just feel like we'd be in a nice little free fall. So, see. We shall see. If we break below here and inverse this fair value gap, I'd see about dollar cost averaging to see where I'd be at there. So let's see. Let's do some math here. So if I entered another 5 micros here, it would be the average of the two, which would be 29,930. 29,930. I could accept that. 29,930. Okay, so if we inverse here, I'd like to add again. I like to add, bringing my average price up to 29,930. Let's see if we can get our new entry there with an add-in. Turn this into a winning trade. But that would be heavy risk. So typically, if I would have waited, this would have been the entry to take, which is 29,940, which is about 30 points. It's about 30 points. So in that case, it should be about 30 points. So I'd be saving myself about 20 points. All right, which would have been, so instead of 30, 10. But I'd have double risk. So I'm going to retest this area here. Ideally, I would have liked to take off this higher time frame area here. Re-entry off this wick. This is the entry we would have took there and been in profit. That's the model I would have took. The model I should have took, being more patient. But let's just tough it out. Let's inverse this fair value gap here. Okay, we were up. We were at 1,500, 1,400 in drawdown. We worked our way all the way down to about $400 of drawdown. I want to inverse this area here. So should I jump out and jump back in and turn some profit on a day by the time I get here? Nice rejection off of there. So I'm thinking about jumping out and then get my entry here. That way I don't have to double up on my size. I'm just gonna stay in. Just gonna stay in. She got a nice pull back there. Let's see, do I want to jump out? Just take that negative P&L and then jump back in. And by the time I get here, be in the green. I definitely want to see price break down here and invert that fair value gap. So I like for it to rip down here. Either way, I'm running short on time. I have a 12 o'clock appointment here. Even though we've sat in this trade all this time, I'd hate to cut short. I'd like to see us get down to at least break even, or a drawdown I can handle, and then we cut this trade, come in. But 15-minute looks good. I like to get below my entry, drag my stop loss just into profit a little bit, and let this trade just do what it does and be green on the day. That's what I foresee happening. Big learning lesson for today. Well, we're just waiting now. We got pretty low here. So let's see. Let's see. Get this lower high. Yeah, we're back all the way up. So we get down here. Yeah, I just like that. How we were all the way down here. Now we're back all the way up there. Well, I got out of that trade, and I'm trying to see if we can get in and get some of this drawdown off of this chart. Looks like we're going up. We went down for a correction, came back up. So let's see. All right, guys, so that's about it for me. I took a loss for the day. Sometimes that's the way you got to do it. I'm going to walk away.